Today we're going to talk about the first potential winter storm slash snow accumulation for parts of western Manitoba and eastern Saskatchewan. So some people will enjoy this conversation, other people will hate it. But stay tuned, we're going to talk about what's expected over the weekend and into Monday. So the first thing that I always like to do here is to look at my fronts, because you can't have, precipitation and all that stuff or significant amount of accumulation without a frontal system or some kind of trigger or something like that, right? So go through our fronts here. You can see now we're on Friday and then going into Saturday. You can see here on the western part of the map here, you have some snow into western Montana going into Alberta. So that's the system that's developing. That will impact western Manitoba. So this deepening low here is going to be the Colorado low that we're going to watch here very closely. So as you can see here, it doesn't take long for it to move off to the northeast. Typical trajectory here of a Colorado low and tightening gradients. So you can see that this is why we're watching this as a potential winter storm here. All right, so then and then it moves off. On the backside, you might get some, northerly winds and all that fun stuff into the Red River Valley. So the next thing to look at here is to see how models are trending. So here I pulled up the different precipitation type for the different models, and this only goes up to Sunday. So this is worth noting here, but you can see the main thing I'm looking for here is to see whether the Colorado low is actually going to happen, because obviously that's the important part. You can see almost every model here has the Colorado low forming, somewhere, in Colorado and then moving northeast. So this is good. This means that it's fairly consistent, that there will be a system developing. So now the next thing to look at is I use the member low location. So I see I use an ensemble here, and then you can see potential Lee cyclogenesis, or basically all these L's are where the Colorado low might form and deepen. You can see that there's pretty good agreement in the ensembles that Colorado low will develop and then take the typical trajectory toward Fargo, basically, and then into northwest Ontario. So that's pretty much your classic setup for winter storms in the prairie provinces. So now the next thing to look at is it going to be cold enough for snow? So then let's look at the National Blend of Models, which is a model that I trust very much for temperatures. And you can see here on the warm side, you can pick up the warm front and the cold sector here. So that's your warm temperatures in Celsius on the right side, and then on the left side is your cold temperatures. So there's a line here between the 0 mark, basically, is your transition zone from rain to snow. So everything in purple and then reds are going to be too warm for snow. Everything on the left is good for snow, and in your transition zone is basically where you see the most accumulation. Now this transition zone is going to shift. Obviously that's the hard part to forecast for, but it looks like the western, Westman and then eastern Saskatchewan, western North Dakota, typical areas. And then upslope flow from the escarpment is going to enhance those totals. So the next question that begs to, how much snow? So again, the National Blended Model here is really good at picking out higher elevation areas in Westman, so that's why I like to use that one. Now you can see the main event is going to be on Monday. You can see accumulation here on the west, on the escarpment near Dauphin, almost going over the Trans-Canada and then lesser amounts. So here we're talking about probably up to 10 centimeters into southwestern Manitoba and to southeastern Saskatchewan, and higher totals, so 10 to 15 centimeters in the higher areas here. So where that 14.7 centimeters is, that's way too precise obviously, but that's the McCreary area if I'm not mistaken. And then going north into Dauphin here, you have some higher elevation and higher totals. So that's basically the gist of it. So we need to wait until probably tomorrow to have some better runs or the higher resolution models can try and pick out the finer details of the transition zone and all that fun stuff. But as of now, there's no, let's refresh it, there's no Environment Canada warnings, statements, watches, or anything like that for this system, so they're probably waiting for the same thing, better model runs. So that's the gist of it. So basically, this is going to be your first real accumulation. It's going to probably impact the Trans-Canada Highway, if anything, mixed precipitation, probably Winnipeg west to the Saskatchewan border. So if you're planning on traveling onto the Trans-Canada Highway or in Southwest Manitoba or in Westman, just heed caution here, starting Monday, maybe Sunday overnight into early Monday, and then probably ending Monday evening or Tuesday morning. So your Monday commute here or your Monday travel in these regions is going to be a bit tricky, but hopefully you watching this video and sharing it, you won't be surprised when you see a lot of snow falling on Monday. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel here, and I'm going to try and keep you updated as much as we can for this storm here, or hopefully there's no storm, but we're going to try and keep you updated here. And then also throughout the winter, this is the kind of video content that you can expect: forecast, in-depth forecasting, and as well as live reporting from the conditions that are ongoing, not only in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, but across Canada. So thanks, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification.